Hello and welcome back. Before I get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you like what I'm doing here, feel free to visit my Patreon so that I can bring you even higher quality content. This weekend produced plenty of controversial news, some of which bordered on the insane. The Texas Republican Party held their quadrennial convention last weekend, and boy howdy were they fired up. That, or somebody put LSD in the drinking water and they were all higher than a kite. It was such a spectacle that former Republican Ohio Governor John Kasich told Wolf Blitzer of CNN, "What happened in Texas was a clown show. I think even clowns were embarrassed by what they saw down there." Oh my God, where to start? Let's see. Senator Ted Cruz was accosted by right-wing social media activist Alex Stein, who accused Cruz of being a coward and a liar, as well as being a globalist for voting to send aid to Ukraine to help fight off the Russian invasion. I'm no fan of Ted Cruz, but Mr. Stein's tirade was uncalled for, and it got Mr. Stein thrown out of the convention. The only statement that Stein made that might have had even a kernel of truth to it was when he questioned Senator Cruz, "Why did you go and become best friends with Trump after he made fun of your wife? Why did you do that?" Them's fighting words where I come from. Stein also called Representative Dan Crenshaw, a former Navy SEAL who lost an eye in combat in Afghanistan, Eye Patch McCain, which is a name he lifted from Fox News fantasist Tucker Carlson. He could at least have come up with his own unique insult, and he wonders why he was shouted down and thrown out. A lot of the scorn heaped on Crenshaw was because he came out in favor of red flag warnings on certain gun sales and took part in crafting a bipartisan gun bill that came about after the Uvalde school massacre. I guess it is okay with Texans if some red-in-the-face gibbering lunatic goes into a gun store, buys several high-powered weapons and enough ammo to hold off the Red Army, and then asks directions to the nearest elementary school. They also passed a platform plank calling homosexual as being abnormal and opposed all efforts to validate transgender identity. This seemed to be an affront to their Texas masculinity or some such blather. I guess their wives let them wear the pants that weekend. Their declaration that President Biden was illegitimately elected because of non-existent voter fraud was beyond the absurd. Methinks the Texas heat has killed what few live brain cells they had left. But the pièce de resistance of this circus of the Guild of Fools was a call for a statewide referendum for Texas to secede from the Union again. Didn't work out so well last time, did it? That would be interesting. Really, it would. They might have a National Guard that drills 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks every summer. So they have some firepower. With their array of weekend warriors, they would be facing the 1st Cavalry Division and the 3rd Cavalry Regiment at Fort Hood, as well as the 1st Armored Division at Fort Bliss. These are active duty units who practice the art of warfare 365 days a year as opposed to 36 days scattered over 12 months. All those soldiers in those units swore to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. I can say it with my eyes closed. I said it before, with my right hand held up. Gave 4 years of my time. Those soldiers swore no allegiance to Texas and would make short work of the Texas Guard, especially since with Texans' fanatical concerns about the Mexican border, they would either cross the Rio Grande to secure the border or fire across it to stop anyone that they perceived to be maybe, possibly, someday, a soon-to-be illegal immigrant Their self-righteous and paranoia would have them fighting a war on 2 or 3 fronts and possibly more. Texas has a naval force made up of one World War I battleship with a leaking hull and an air force made up of aging 4th-generation fighters that would be taking on a nighttime night fight against F-22s and F-35s. Their new Republic of Texas wouldn't last as long as the first one did. But it would be fun to watch our overly arrogant Texas pride get ground into the dust. Well, folks, that's it for today. So long, stay safe, drink one for me. Over and out.